Welcome to the Lyons Share, where we talk family, faith, football, finance, and fun. I'm your host, Mitch Lyons. As always, this episode brought to you by Mitch Lyons Wealth, your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement. Today, we have a dog spotlight with senior Kenzie Bowers from the Ferris State women's basketball team. Kenzie, great to have you on. Thanks for being here, I should say.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, well, it's great to have you on. I know we tried earlier in the year, but you're busy college student, so we couldn't get
That's
you
right.
on then. But geez, you're in your last year. It's coming down to kind of winding down to an end here. How's that got you feeling with a few
Oh,
weeks now until
definitely
the
like all the feelings, all the emotions. Obviously like we just had senior night, so that really hit me and yeah, I can't
yeah.
believe that we're kind of on that last stretch now.
Yeah, let's talk about your journey a little bit. I mean, you were a rock star at Kent City for all 4 years there, playing with Coach Scott Carlson, who's also an assistant on the Ferris team now. But you had a pretty storied high school career. You went to Division I Illinois State out of high school. Got some PT there. You're playing 15 minutes a game or so, and but it just wasn't a good fit, and you ultimately came back to Ferris State. Talk about that experience, I guess, and just what brought you to Ferris after starting off at Illinois State.
Yeah, I mean, I got some great experiences at Illinois State. I think like whenever anyone asks me about that, I'm like, yeah, I mean, I got to play against Caitlin Clark. So that's always something that comes up. But yeah, ultimately just kind of wanted to be back in Michigan, a little bit closer to home. And I kind of knew Maya throughout like AAU and stuff. And I kind of ended
My
up hitting her up and was like, hey, like, how are you liking Ferris? And she always says now, she's like, I knew as soon as you texted me, like, oh my God, she's in the transfer portal. She is thinking about maybe coming to Ferris. And I mean, as soon as I came on my visit here or to Ferris, it was just amazing. All the girls made me feel so welcome before I was even officially a Bulldog. And I don't think I could have made a better decision.
Yeah, well, that's cool. And you're you've had a nice run there. You've started all 3 years you've been there. You mentioned senior day the other day. You just threw up a ho-hum triple double on your senior day performance. So that was kind of cool. And you mentioned Maya and she threw up 25 that game as well. So you guys were co-players of the game for Mitch Lyons Wealth and deservedly so. So that was a big win. You guys are, you've had your challenges this year. You've had some injuries you've had to overcome and but all that being said, you guys are, in second place in the GLIAC. Hopefully peaking at the right time. You guys have had a couple good games under your belt, putting the ball in the basket, which helps obviously when people are shooting it good. And you've got a couple games this week. You got Wayne State on Thursday, and then Saginaw Valley before heading into the GLIAC tournament the following week. What, in your mind, I guess, what would it take, or what will it take for this team to build off last year's Final Four appearance? Obviously, you lost a couple key contributors last year, but what can get you from where you are now to that level again?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we've faced some adversity already this year with just a couple injuries happening, and I think like you said too, like we're playing some good basketball right now. Like hopefully, like right now is when we're hot, and they always say like you want to be hot going into March, so hopefully that's the case with us. And right now we're putting that ball in the hoop, playing some good defense, and I really do think that it comes down to like the defensive end, like when we get into the tournament and stuff, and how we rebound just all those type of things, I guess.
Making stops matters, and
Yep.
I always say offensive rebounding is a huge component, and just it's so demoralizing for a team when they play 30 seconds of solid defense, and then you're able to get a carom and get an extra 20 seconds, right? That's
Yeah.
tough for a defender. So when you guys are doing that, I mean, that's better than not. You've got a scrappy team. You don't have a huge team.
No.
We sometimes we run into some bigger players that will give us trouble, but the reality of it is we've got a pretty balanced team. In the camaraderie on the team is evident. There's a good culture there that Coach Westendorp has fostered, and certainly with senior leadership like yourself, with Grace, my daughter being a freshman on the team, I can see that from afar that you guys have a close-knit group, and that's a big part of it too, because you've got to have players that want to do it for the team, for the name on the front, not the name on the back, and that's what creates winning teams. And so I'm excited to see how you guys can finish this year out for sure.
Yep.
So when that happens and you play your final game and you take those shoes off for the last time, tell us what's next for Kenzie Bowers in her life.
Oh gosh. Part of me doesn't even want to think about that yet. But what I've been doing kind of while I've been in college and even a little bit in high school is training some kids. Just I'll go to other schools' gyms and do camps there. I'll do camps at Kent City, which is obviously my hometown, and then train out of Kent City too. And I really enjoyed doing that. So I think maybe if I could continue to do that and maybe help it grow or make it grow and make it a bigger thing, that would be kind of cool. Another thing I've been interested in doing is potentially being an athletic director at like a high school. So I think a great way to start would be assistant athletic directing, kind of
Yes.
learn it a little bit and then go from there. So we'll see what happens, I guess. And yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned training. Would coaching ever be something you would aspire to?
Yeah, I coach AAU already and I really like doing that. I think maybe down the road coaching is something I would want to do. The Kent City just got a new varsity coach and she's like, "Hey, I got a middle school team I need a coach for next year." And I'm like, "All right, maybe I'll do
Yeah,
it."
yeah. They keep sucking you back in, pulling you back
I
in.
know, literally.
Well, that's cool. So, with respect to finishing up, looking back on your career, I mean, it's been a long haul, right? And your parents obviously put a lot of miles on the car, chasing you and your sister, younger sister, who's plays over at Northwood, Lexi, and so. Obviously it's been a long journey. I guess as you look back on it, I mean, what has basketball meant to you just in terms of your formation as a young lady and just the life lessons that you've learned over time from the game of basketball?
Yeah, it truly means so much. I mean, it really is more than just a game, and this is where I've met my best friends that'll last a lifetime. This is where, like you've said, I've learned so many lessons just outside of the game, and I think it's really gonna help me, going into a job or even going into like a family and stuff like that. And yeah, that's definitely stuff that I'll carry over into my future.
You faced adversity this year on the court with injuries and whatnot on your team, but yeah, not, there's plenty of adversity in life with jobs and family and everything
Yeah,
else you come across. So yeah, there's no
right,
question that I think athletics is key for that and just being able to handle the pressures of life, right? And
I
much
agree.
much like having to knock down those free throws and the last few seconds to win a game. Sometimes life throws you curveballs and you got to step up to the bat like that as well. So. Well, Kenzie, I wish you nothing but the best. We've loved having you on the squad, and we look forward to these next few weeks and getting into March Madness and enjoying the ride. I wish you nothing but the best. Hopefully, the ball goes in more than it doesn't the rest of the way, because everybody wins when everybody's making buckets. So
Right.
keep that up. But we really appreciate it, and thanks for joining the Lions Share.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And if you like this episode, feel free to check out, like, share, subscribe to this channel, and we'll be able to alert you to all kinds of interviews coming up. And we'll continue the ride with the Ferris State women's team and much more than that. So until next time, take care.